Hello, my name is Katrina Cherry, Realtor with Catalyst Real Estate Services, empowered by Costello Real Estate and Investments. I am here rocking with Grandosiá TV.
Welcome to the Grandosiá TV show. Here today I have my friend, the great realtor Katrina Cherry, coming to us to bless us with information on what the real estate game is, on how to buy a house. Also, what is a good credit score? What is things that we need to have down uh, with us as we go on the venture and journey of buying a house? How long do it take to buy a house? These are the things that we're going to talk about. And you are here to give us that information on what are things that we are missing when it comes to buying a house.
All right, so in any real estate transaction, there are several moving parts. When I work with my home buyers, one thing that I emphasize is educating on all the material, especially if they need to know the basics. So during my consultation, I'll always ask that buyer, tell me about your real estate goals. What are your goals pertaining to home ownership, and how can I get you there? Most clients need information on the loan process as well as the home buying process in general. So the first thing you talk about when purchasing a home is definitely finances. Finances can also be the most difficult conversation to have. When purchasing a home, you will need money. Something has to move that transaction from the seller to the new owner, from the previous owner to the new owner. So something had to, real estate is a cash transaction, and money moves the transaction. So we have to discuss finances, any usable funds that you have to put towards the purchase. We discuss your credit report and your credit score. These are items that the loan officer will go in detail about. However, as a realtor, I prepare you for meeting with your loan officer if you haven't chosen one already. So we need to discuss your finances. Do you have money for a down payment or closing costs? Are you monitoring your credit report? What is your credit score? Are you aware of your actual FICO scores?
Quick question. Quick question.
Yes.
When you said money is the thing that we need,
Mm-hmm.
I know people always ask, what's the amount of money where I look at? What's the amount of money that you say on a $200,000 house that I should be working towards to put down for my home?
Okay, I'm glad you asked. So let's do some roundabout figures. For a $200,000 house, the first thing you will need is your earnest money deposit, which is 1% of the total cost of that home. So you will have to put up $200,000 at minimum for earnest money deposit, which is held at the closing attorney's office. There's also your due diligence fees. Your due diligence fees in North Carolina are at minimum $500. In this market, it is a hot market. So at $200,000 price point, you have a lot of investors that can come along and pay cash for that. So right now, we're in bidding wars. So in order to win a bidding war, you have to have something to negotiate with, which is cash and time on getting to that closing table. Now, the fees that I mentioned, the earnest money deposit and the due diligence, that is not your down payment and that is not your closing costs. The down payment depends on your loan product. FHA loan products are typically 3.5% down payment. Conventional loans are typically 3% to 5% down payment. And that does not include your closing costs. Closing cost fees are discussed with you, and you have a right to know every detailed line of every fee involving a real estate transaction. The loan officer and the attorney can give you an estimate of those fees. However, there are also 100% financing products on the market that can assist you with your down payment and your closing costs. It just depends on where you buy if you do new construction, if you do an established property, what type of loan product you have, your interest rates. There are a lot of moving parts, so it varies in different price points. So it depends on your needs.
So with buying a house, what some people will ask, I have some people, who's comfortable renting, but they will ask, why do I have to pay earnest money? Why do I have to pay due diligence money? Why, if it's not going towards my down payment, what's the point of it?
Okay, so the point of the earnest money deposit and the due diligence fee is to show a buyer that you are, in fact, a serious buyer. Sellers have the product that you and I both need. So if you have merchandise for sale, the only thing that's going to move that merchandise is show me the money. So that's it. Show me the money. So that's where the sellers are in this market. Anything that you give up front is subtracted at the end. So your earnest money deposit and your due diligence fees, these are not things that you're just giving away. Now, you have to be careful about that due diligence fee because it is non-refundable to that non-refundable. It goes to that seller. You do not get that back. So if you're negotiating using your funds, you have to make sure you are aware of the risk, which is why I caution when I write offers to purchase. You want to be sure. If you want to purchase a property, you have in North Carolina, it's written into the contract. So those earnest money deposits and that due diligence fee, it is a part of the contract.
So you saying if I decide to buy a house, I come to buy your house, and I said, well, I think I'm in over my head, and I already put my money down to what you said, earnest
the due diligence,
and I said due diligence probably what $1,500. You telling me I'm walking away with nothing?
It's gone.
Ooh.
And that's why it's called a seller's market, because the seller is guaranteed to make something when that offer is written up. So you have to know that you know that you know that you know this is the property that you want. And I always do my best to do a thorough research on that property. We visit the property, we do a showing, I make sure I look it up and down. You do have a due diligence period. Now, in that due diligence period, that's your time to have the property checked out to see if it's, get your inspection done, make sure it is what you want. However, that due diligence fee is not a compromising area.
Gotcha. I just know sometimes dealing with a realtor before, that pressure be on during that moment. That's one of them, they hit you every day like, you need to hurry up and do something else, they gonna move on. I'm like, bro, let me think about it, because it's non-refundable.
Right.
Like, let me see what's up.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, which one is better? Is it because I've been to a lot of homes in the process of trying to buy a home, looking at these houses, getting them inspected, they wasn't worth anything. So would you say build from the ground up, or would you say buy somebody else's house?
I am a fan of new construction. I call new construction homes with no miles. Think about it. Think about it like that. So if you can afford a new house with no mileage, I mean, it comes to you clean, new, no dents, all the wear and no wear and tear. So you're the first to put miles on that home, just like with a car. The good thing about purchasing new construction is, or any home, whether it's new construction or already built home, you're going to get equity because it's an appreciating item. But I'm a fan of new construction because of the energy efficient appliances that come with it, just energy efficient throughout the home. Everything is new, so you have a modern, up-to-date home. Whereas in an established property, if it has not been well maintained, there is going to be something wrong, and it may or may not be out of your price point. It depends on your need. One thing I urge is a home inspection before you purchase, before our due diligence period is up. We need to inspect that property top and bottom. I partner with thorough home inspectors that's going to inspect the home inside and out to make sure you do have a quality product. Because if you agree to what you're purchasing, it's your house. You want a realtor that's also able to negotiate repair cost or the need of the repairs if you choose an established property.
So, do you pay? Do the buyer or me being the buyer, will I pay for that myself or as an inspection, or is that something that you just negotiate with all the money that's on the table?
Yes, that is your expense. So a home inspection is a buyer's expense. A home appraisal is a buyer's expense. The difference between the two is the appraisal is going to establish your market value. It tells you the market value of your home. The home inspection is going to report to you the condition of your home, what is right and what is wrong with the home.
Got it. Makes sense. I love the information. On another note, transitioning to something different real quick. What are some of the do's and don'ts in your mind when it comes to buying a home? And where do we as people mess up when it comes to buying a home?
I cannot stress enough the importance of building healthy, strong, resilient credit. The struggles that I see in real estate right now is credit and finances. Many of us have the desire to purchase a home, but the necessities that need to be in place to make that a reality aren't present at that time. Does that mean it's not possible at all? No, that's not what that means. It now means that we have to put some strategies in place to get you there. It may take months, it may take a few years, but credit strength is necessary, and there has to be some usable funds somewhere, usable legal funds that the lender is going to allow to be used in the transaction.
Before you keep going, when you say credit, what is in today's market? What is the best credit to have? Can I have a 550, or do I need something more than that?
Okay, glad you asked that question too. So, concerning credit score, what I communicate is 620, a FICO score, a middle FICO score of 620 is a safe score, as I call it. And I call it a safe score because a middle score, not your high, it's 3 scores: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So you have 3 FICO scores. The lender will not take your highest score, they will not take your lowest score, but they will take the one in the middle. So that score needs to be at least a 620. That's the safe score. However, there are lenders that will use a score below 620. What that means for the buyer is you have to bring more to the table, more money. You have to have more skin in the game. There are lenders there are lenders that will finance you at a 580. There are some lenders that might even go take a higher risk and finance you lower than 580, but you have to bring more money to the table. Whereas with a 5HA loan product, a FHA loan product, with the FHA loan product, that is a loan that will accept a lower score. Typically 3.5% down payment. However, if you are at a 580, they may request a much higher down payment if your score is lower. That's because they're protecting their interest that they're putting in. They're protecting their investment. So they're going to ask you for more if your score is lower.
Ooh, that's a lot. And when you say more money, we talking about, because it's about 10% that you got to do with the loan already. So when you saying more money, we got to bring, instead of 2,000 or 15, 20,000, you probably got to bring 30,000.
Yep, that's correct.
That's a lot of money to find. That could be tough on somebody. So when you go buy a house, people, man, make sure you have it together on that end. What's some of the things you saw on people's credit that you just shook your head on? You're like, man, why we keep doing this to ourselves? What is things like you like, man, y'all didn't buy that BMW over there, we may be fine right now. But what's some things that people need to just know about and be aware of not to do in the process? Because I have heard some people will say, listen, you got to watch what you spend. I need to have access to your checking account to make sure you're not overspending stuff. So what's like some of the things that people need to be aware of in this process?
Okay, purchasing a home, some things that you need to be aware of during the home loan process. is you have to be still. Sit down. Put your social security number in time out when you are trying to purchase a home. Don't get anything. Don't finance anything if you're trying to purchase a home. Some things that I've ran into, and I haven't, me as a realtor, I don't have access to your credit report. My lender communicates to me what the traffic jam may be, what the barriers may be, what's the hold up, what's preventing the pre-approval or hindering the pre-approval. So that's where my daughter with On Point Credit Solutions, the owner and operator of her own credit repair company, she understands how to analyze the credit. So there may be some late payments, there may be an eviction, there may be collections, there may be some charge-offs, school loans that have been neglected, repossessions. There are things on your credit that lenders don't want to see. I am the type of realtor that loves to help buyers strategize. Because I have my own team, I'm able to do that with my daughter being a credit specialist. There are some things that can be removed and deleted off of your credit. It does take time. If you're purchasing a home, it's best to pay your debt down because they will calculate your debt to income ratio known as your DTI. How much money you have coming in the house versus how much money you have going out the house. They make their determination to see if they make the determination on how much they will loan you based on those factors: your income, your credit report, your credit score. So strengthening, cleaning up the report, paying debt down, cleaning up the report, saving money. There are 100% financing products on the market. There's currently an FHA loan that will allow you to finance the house, your down payment, and your closing costs rolled into the loan. So that that FHA product will cut out that larger amount of money that you would need with a typical FHA.
Now, with buying a house and securing money, like you was talking about, what are some of the better loans to get? I know I have a partner who always asks me about FCC credit and all this other stuff. What are some of the best loans out there on the market for people to get to be able to buy a house?
Okay. So when it comes to loan products, the best product for you is basically one that meets all your needs. However, one of the best loan products on the market is, of course, the conventional loan because of the private insurances. The insurances on that loan are a lot cheaper. Conventional, a lot of sellers love the conventional loan. A loan officer can tell you more about these loan products, but conventional is definitely one of the best on the market. Of course, if you can buy the product, a cash buy, that's always good too. But the loan products are out there to assist you with the transaction, with conventional being one of the best. Then you also have an FHA loan. These are the government-backed loans are FHA, USDA, and VA. So USDA loans are those loans that are for USDA eligible property on the outskirts of the city limits, like towns like Dallas and Bessemer City, some in Belmont and some in Mount Holly. Lots of USDA eligible property in Shelby, Kings Mountain, things like that. Cabarrus County, Concord, Kannapolis, in Rowan County, Salisbury. So the USDA loan is 100% financing of the property, but you do have to bring your own closing costs and any other fees that a builder or seller may have. The VA loan, of course, is for our military veterans. They get, that's a great product, discounted fees. And again, as I stated, a loan officer can better explain those to you. And I'm partnered with loan officers that don't mind breaking down the loan products.
Now, are there certain credit scores you have to have or any classes that you have to go through? I know some people who was buying houses said, I had to go to this class and learn about this. So, Is there any classes you have to learn or credit scores?
So the classes are in conjunction with the loan product or the down payment assistance that you are receiving. So programs like NACA will take care of your closing costs, your down payment, very low insurance fees and rates, low conventional interest rate, but you have to take their classes. You have to go through their program. You have to follow their protocol. There's also North Carolina Housing Finance. You have to go through their processes and their protocols. I think it's up to 7,000 or 8,000 with North Carolina Housing Finance that they give towards your down payment or closing costs. South Carolina Housing Finance, they also have programs there. With each program, you have to abide by their terms and guidelines. That's separate from the lender's guidelines. The down payment assistance programs will require maybe some workshops, some classes, but if they're giving you the funds needed, they're going to require something in return, and that may be your time invested in the training to make sure you qualify for that and to make sure you're a prepared buyer. Those products are awesome. If you need them, capitalize on them. That's what they're for. And there are lots of programs out there for low and moderate income families.
I may have somebody watching right now,
Mm-hmm.
and they say, "Man, this information is good, but I'm renting right now. Why should I buy? What's the reason of buying a home if I got to go through all this? What's the purpose?" What would you say to them?
I would say the reason why it is a good deal, a good idea, a good move, a wise move to purchase your own property, because it empowers your dollars and it also gives your family financial security, because a home is an appreciating item. You're gaining equity. When you purchase a home, I equate that as you're buying a bank. Why do I say it in that way? Because paying your mortgage, you're paying into your own savings. You're paying into your own equity. If you're renting, you're paying somebody else's mortgage. You're empowering their dollars. You're strengthening their family. You're strengthening their income streams. You're taking care of them. You're taking care of their future. Whereas you paying rent only secures one thing, and that is shelter at that time. If a landlord decides that they want to sell the property that you are renting from them, that is their choice. That's their right, because it's their house. Their dollars are empowered. You have helped them make that decision by continuing to be a tenant. They want to raise the rent, so let's get you out and move someone else in, and we're going to charge them even more. So purchasing a home is an avenue to wealth building for your family.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Well, we've been on this whole empowerment of women lately. You have Kamala Harris, who's the vice president.
Mm-hmm.
You have the first lady to referee in a football game. So on this whole empowerment thing, and we're going to roll into March soon, but we got to get through Black History first. Why would you say women, or why would you say somebody should be in real estate? What was your reason for going in real estate?
Well, for me, getting into real estate, it gave me the power to do what I want to do. I am a woman. I am an African-American woman. My children are all adults now, so I don't have any small children. And so being a realtor gives me the opportunity to serve more in my purpose. I have 25 plus years experience in public education as a paraprofessional, but working in real estate has now allowed me to serve families in a different realm. I continue to educate about real estate, finances, credit, and those things that empower our families as well as our dollars. So me being in real estate is about continuing to educate and empower families now through the real estate industry. I love it. I love explaining the positives in home ownership. I don't only serve the buyer, but I can also represent the seller and the investor. It's your choice. The market is rich right now. There is enough for everybody. So real estate has positioned me to build businesses within my family as well as serve other families.
So if somebody was looking KATRINA Cherry up, what type of realtor, or if they hire you, what type of realtor would they be getting in you?
Glad you asked that. So if someone chooses to hire me as their realtor, what you're getting is a powerhouse of knowledge. You're getting a library on real estate. You're getting the inside scoop. You're getting someone that does not mind fighting for you to get to the closing table, keeping you ahead of the game, not behind the 8 ball. I'm going to make sure that everything that you need is in line. We're going to strategize in the beginning so there are no surprises along the way. I advocate for you. I don't mind being the link between you and the loan officer, you and the selling agent. That's what I'm there for. I'm there to be your eyes, your voice, your ears, your hands, your leg. I'm there for you. So there is no question mark when you hire me as your realtor, because I take it serious. I don't want you not to know. I need you to know every fine detail in this transaction. And that's my job to make sure you do know. I'm only going to give you quality because I believe in promoting quality of life for all people. If I'm not going to serve it to my family, I'm not going to serve it to your family. So what you have is equality, fair treatment along the whole transaction. You can get me directly. You can text me, call me on my cell phone, on my through my social media feeds. You also have a credit consultant, which is my daughter, who owns and operates her own credit repair business. If there's any question concerning any type of credit concerns, I have her right beside me because she's my business partner. So we have that taken care of. I also have a transaction coordinator who assists me with my administrative duties so that we can keep our transaction moving. I interview all my loan officers. I do not refer you to a loan officer that I have not interviewed. I make sure that they are a good fit for me, for you, and for all involved. So you're not just wandering through the transaction. You will be informed, you will be empowered, and you will get your bottom line.
Speaking of, people being able to find you on social media, where can we find you at? Where at on Facebook? Where on Instagram can we find you?
Okay. On social media, you can primarily find me on Facebook. On Facebook under my name, Katrina Cherry. My Facebook business page is Katrina Cherry Catalyst, RES at Costello, empowered by Costello, REI. You can also find me on LinkedIn under Katrina Cherry, and Twitter, but primarily on Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram as Katrina Cherry as well.
This has been a lot of great information for the viewers, and I appreciate you stopping by Grandosiá TV, giving us this wealth of knowledge. Everybody that's watching Grandosiá TV, please hit the subscribe button, share the video, comment, like, so we can build our YouTube subscribers. But we just want to thank you, Katrina, for coming through, giving us this knowledge on this real estate game. So hopefully in the next 2 years, next year, next 6 months, next month, we have people coming to you buying homes and living their dream, being able to move into what they call, I guess, their destination home, their final home, their forever home. And it's all because of you, the knowledge that you gave. So we thank you.
You are welcome, and thank you. Guys, give me a call, and my number is 704-898-7540. Again, that's Katrina Cherry, realtor, licensed in both North Carolina and South Carolina. Catalyst Real Estate Services, empowered by Costello Real Estate and Investments. My number again is 704-898-7540.